Folks, Prince died in April of last year, and for Shelby J, it was stunning when she got the word that her mentor had passed. Here is the last part of our exclusive conversation.
This is an ABC News special report.
And we are coming on the air right now with the breaking news that the pioneering musician Prince has died at the age of 57.
CNN has now confirmed that the artist Prince is dead.
Prince has died at his home in suburban Minneapolis.
April 21st.
April 21st. Yeah.
Walk us through that day.
That day, I was at home in North Carolina, and I was working out in my neighborhood, walking in the morning, and I don't even remember who texted me first, but I walked back home, and I got home, and my mom knew. I told her, I said, something's up, something's wrong at Paisley. Something's wrong with Prince. And then my phone started ringing, and I found out that he was gone, and I didn't want to believe it, and it just felt like it felt like my chest exploded. It felt like my chest exploded, and I went numb. And I just let loose, and I was like, this is real. He's gone, and I don't know everything, but I gotta go. And my mom came, and it's kind of like all I remember for a minute, because I was on the floor. It just hurt so bad. I loved him so much, and he loved me so much. And it just hurt. It hurt a lot, you know, and I couldn't, I didn't even know what to say, you know, and there were like news cameras, you know, showing up at the house, like maybe an hour. I've never experienced anything like this in my life, and I didn't know even what to do. And my manager, thank God for her, for putting out fires, because it's like, to a lot of people, you know, Prince was a huge star to them, and I get their interest, and I get them wanting to talk about it. I understand that, but you know, when my daddy died, I didn't want to talk about it that night either. You know, I'm grieving, and you have to give a person time to grieve. Everyone grieves differently, and respectfully, for people that could talk and could do things, that's cool. But my relationship with Prince was that where it felt, like I said, like someone just ripped my heart out of my chest. I didn't know what to say, and I couldn't talk. There was nothing to talk about. It was just I just had to grieve. I had to cry. I had to, just for days, you know, I had to just cry and just be alone and with my family and just try to figure this out, because he was such a big part of my world. So he was a major part of not just my work life, but of my life, my real life. You know, he would check on mama and ask me about my sisters by name, you know. So it was like losing a family member. That's how it felt. Like I felt when my daddy died. That's how it felt. And
for a long time, I mean, long time, you just could not talk about any of this. No,
it was just too. It was too difficult to talk about without crying and just being a mess, because I had to process it and I had to pray over it. Prince comes to me in my dreams quite often. I remember that night he was in my dream. He comes to me often, and it's just, and he speaks to me. He tells me things, and it's not a weird, scary thing. It's a beautiful thing. It makes me still feel connected with him. There was no blueprint to it. I didn't. You know, until you go through something like this, nobody can, you know, there's no blueprint for it. But you know, I'm on the other side of it now, and I'm thankful, like I said, for my faith in my family. And he's still with me. You know, he's still with me. He's always in my heart.
You also went through the emotional roller coaster when we found out how he died. And I talked to so many people who were close to him, and they said, I simply had no idea.
People go through things and you don't even know because you're not there with them like that. But when it comes to that, I trust God in all things, not just things I understand. Most importantly, and Mama, most importantly, the things that I don't understand, the things I can't wrap my brain around, that's when you have to trust him the most. And when you say you trust him and you give it to him, you gotta let it go. You can't trust him and still be like, but what about this God? And what about that God? It's like, nope, I trust you in all things. You brought my brother Prince home. He did what he was supposed to do on this earth while he was here. Now he's everywhere. He's in the sun, the wind, the air. He's everywhere around us. I trust you. It was his time, and I'll see him, on the other side.
It is interesting when you talk what you just said about the kind of folks he liked. He was an avid news person.
Yeah, he was.
And so yeah, he knew who certain folks were and what they talked about.
Yeah.
That also rub off on you where he was kind of like, yeah, you got to watch the news.
Oh, yeah. You have to understand the world that you're living in. And, like Nina Simone said, an artist's goal is to reflect the times that we're living in. So the stuff that I'm even writing now, the stuff for this album is written, but the stuff that I'm writing now is reflecting these times, and there's some turbulent stuff going on. And if you're not aware, you don't have a clue. How can you even write about? What are you writing about? Rims? What are you writing? What is that? So you need to understand that about what's going on in the world. And he was highly intelligent. People don't understand how smart this man was. Prince was one of the smartest people I ever met in my life, and not just smart about music, but smart about religion. He was well informed about so many different things and wanted us to be as well. He's like, you need to read this book. You need to watch this movie. Understand how all of this works so that you are the boss of you and that you're not subject to all this other stuff because you're uninformed, and uneducated.
Do you think people in music, and certainly the general public, really have no idea about his brilliance?
I think they're learning now, which I love. I don't think they really knew. A lot of people didn't even know Prince was the musician that he was. Now, all of that music, he's gonna live on forever. And we're gonna make sure of it, and Shelby J is gonna make sure of it, that people understand and remember him for not how he died, but how he lived and what he left behind for all of us and all the gifts that he gave us, and that roadmap that he laid out in his lyrics for us to know how to treat each other, how to love one another, how to just be good and be kind, and to what matters.
Why is this called 10?
Wow, 10 was my number. I was born on the 10th day. I'm a Virgo, September 10th. 10 has always been my number. My father was born on the 10th, and Prince was into numbers. His number was 7. So for me, 10 is Shelby's number. But I want you to listen to my music and feel good. I want you to feel good about yourself. I want you to feel good about your life that you're living, and understand if you make a mistake, if you fall in a hole, you get back up, you dust yourself off, and you keep it moving. And that's how I want people to feel when they listen to that music. So I want them to feel like they're a 10. So yeah, 10.
You got that cool soul.